Hi, travelers. Tara here, and we're going to do a pop-up reading using the Casanova deck. We have not heard from Casanova for Casanova Casanova for quite some time. I'm having a bit of difficulty speaking right now. I have already done some meditation and on with this deck. I pulled him out and asked him if he wanted to work. He's like, yeah, I'll work with you. He's asked me not to do a whole lot of shuffling, so I did do some shuffling beforehand during the meditation portion. In case you've never seen the deck, this is the Casanova deck. And a word of warning, because usually when I use this deck, or back when I used to use this deck, sometimes I would get people coming up under there talking about, oh, well, I'm offended by the images. Look, we are adults. Some of the images are rather sexual in nature. My channel is not for kids, so anybody watching this who's under the age of 18 shouldn't be watching it. And if you are offended by the images, then I'm going to say go look at something else, okay? Sex is a part of life. It deals with, it is connected to the fifth chakra, which is the seat of our sexual energy. So it deals with the idea of not just creation, but also the manifestation of things in the third dimensional plane, which is where we live. So if you are offended, my job is I'm not here to offend you or upset you in any way. I'm just going to say you have a choice of whether or not you want to view it. And if you are offended, then go someplace else and look, okay? So that's what I have to say about that. I hope everyone is okay. We are the 8th day into February and only 20 more days left in this month. Can you believe that? And we're going into March. The time is going to change and we'll be heading into the spring equinox. So it's already appearing that this year is zooming by at a rather fast clip. So let me go ahead and turn the cards, turn the camera around. I have to be slow and deliberate. I've been busy. Hannah was able to drive her car today. She got paid for all the repairs. She paid for the car herself. She paid for all of the repairs. She bought her tires yesterday. She was out of money when I had to go downtown and get the car registered so she can get her new plates on. So she was actually able to drive her car to school today. And on Friday when she goes to work, she'll be driving her own car to and from work. I am so proud of her. That's a tremendous accomplishment at 18. And her dad was like, well, all that money you paid to get that car fixed, you could have just went on the lot and got you one. Yeah, but she would have also had a car payment with the interest. And it's like I was telling her yesterday, don't let your daddy badmouth you about the car and the money that you sunk into it. And I think she spent about another maybe $3,000 total for labor and parts. They put a whole new engine in it. And so it's like I was telling her, she works for H&M, and I'm like, if H&M burned to the ground tomorrow or the mall blow up and you ain't got no job, your car is paid for. So nobody's gonna come and take your car away from you or put the kill switch on it so you can't drive it, and they're not gonna ding your credit because your car is paid for. So that is the lesson I try to teach my kid. There's some things you want to go in debt for and some things you don't. So, you want to go in debt when it counts. And so that's that. We just got back from the courthouse getting her car registered, and she went off to class. So I'm just thrilled for her. All right, so here's the deck. Now, I don't know if I'll be using any Casanovas, any Levita Sibilas or not. We'll just see what the story is. Let me see if I can get this thing to work. I do have the oracle cards to pull. There we go. Hopefully it'll stick around. So I'm just going to open the cards up. 9-card spread. The 9 of Swords. Oh, come on. The Star card. And I might have to turn off some of the lights. It's rather gloomy today. Next card. Oh, really? Come on. It is the 8 of Pentacles. Let me see if I can get this to refocus. There we go. The 8 of Pentacles. the Ace of Cups. You can see that. It's kind of blurry. I don't know what's going on with the camera here today. Oh, wow. The Devil. I think that is a very interesting image. If I can get it to focus correctly. There you go. The Devil. The Ace of Wands. There you can see the Ace of Wands. Oh my God, this is like pulling teeth, trying to get the camera to focus. And it may be the lighting, so that's why I say I'll probably turn some of the lights off. The Seven of Wands. There's that dueling image there. There you can see it. The Eight of Cups. You can see the image of the Eight of Cups. And then finally, the Six of Wands. Let's see if we can get it to... There is the Six of Wands. Okay. Now, let me get up and turn some of the lights off, and that might help with the focus. I don't know. I am vexed. There we are. Now, and what is the energy over the entire reading? Oh, wow. It is the Tower. I'm starting to have a tremor, so you can see my hand shaking there. But there it is. Okay. So, right in the center, we have the Devil. Now, in this deck, the Devil speaks about the dark side of us. The things that make us envious or jealous, or is about the reflection that we see in the mirror sometimes. This is definitely a relationship reading. And on the side here, I have the two aces, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. And two aces speak to the possibility of commitment and engagement, a marriage. Okay. The Devil with the Ace of Wands speaks about sexual energy and a sexual relationship. Let's put it that way. The Devil represents the third dimensional thing. Now, up here at the top, we have past, present, future, interplay of the cards. The Nine of Swords in this deck speaks about the idea of someone comforting you during a time of trouble, or maybe doubt or something of this nature. And next to the Star card, this talks about the hopes and dreams. And then this Eight of Pentacles is the idea of someone or you teaching someone about the nature of the physical aspects of getting in touch with yourself. How do you feel? Your senses. What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel? What do you hear? What do you see? So this is about learning about something, okay? The idea that the Ace of Cups is a beginning and it happens to be a start. It doesn't promise love. It doesn't promise commitment. It just simply says there's a possibility, but also that this is an awakening of new emotions for some of you. Now, in the past, we see if you've been comforted, maybe you were in a breakup, and maybe this is a rebound relationship, and you ran across somebody who was able to help you to, I don't know, mentally come out of that space. It is a Swords card, right? And the story is that this particular female didn't have a whole lot of education, or she wasn't very refined. So this could be someone who's completely different from who you normally would be involved with. Okay. And they brought in this idea of opening up. Sometimes cups can be the idea of a catharsis, of releasing something. Okay. But we see here with the Seven of Wands, there's some kind of conflict. Now, I don't know if this is a conflict with someone else in your past, or if this is simply a conflict within yourself about what this is all about. All right. Coming down here, what we see in the present column is the idea of dreams. This card doesn't really, the meanings don't necessarily change. And so this is really about hope. It is about aspirations. It is about the lightness. It is about connecting with the universe. You can see the stars there, all of the lights in the sky. This idea that those things can bring about many situations, how you feel about something. When you look up at the sky, what do you see? What do you think about? How do you feel? Again, these are coins cards along here with the devil. But the devil comes along to say that there's something here, or there's something about the situation in which it is causing you, okay, to, and quote unquote, not necessarily be who you are. So the devil, particularly this image, you see from the back, we see this, what would be considered a gorgeous, shapely female. But when she looks in the mirror, it's something completely different. So this card can sometimes be about delusions and illusions, but it is brought up by your participation, or how you feel about this particular, and what it is that you are doing. Okay. And then we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups comes in to talk about shame and or betrayal. Someone finding out, getting caught in the act. You can see it there. There's the gentleman coming in, opening the door, finding them in this embrace. And we know that Casanova was quite the coxswain, quite the ladies' man, right? And got in lots of trouble for wooing women. So we will come back to that card. And then finally we come to the Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and then the Six of Wands. So the Eight of Pentacles is just that. It's this idea about learning about something. So the story goes that Bettina, the image, the female in this card, taught Casanova a lot about women. But this can be anything. It could also be about you learning about your senses, about the tactile nature of what love and sex and romance and intimacy can be all about. The Ace of Wands tells me, yes, there is an attraction here. Yes, there is something that I desire. This is what the wands are. This is what my focus is. This is what my passion is all about. And then we come to the Six of Cups. Now, normally the Six of Wands. Now, normally the Six of Wands talks about the idea of a respite, or the idea that if there was a fight or an argument, there's some kind of reconciliation. And when I say reconciliation, I don't necessarily mean getting back together. I mean there's some type of reconciling of the idea of what you've been doing, how you've been feeling, how you've been doing it, what you've been saying, what you've been thinking, reconciling those things within the context of this relationship. The entire reading brings about the Tower card. Now, this card does not have the same meaning as a tower in the Rider-Waite deck, but what it does have in common is the idea about the construct, about the idea of the things that we build up for ourselves. So it can talk about things come crashing down. It can talk about a sudden revelation, or a sudden understanding of something. Even though that tower is still standing, we don't see anybody falling out of it. We don't see it crumbling down. It is, in fact, quite prominent in that city center. Okay, so I don't know if maybe some of you may live someplace where there's a building like this or something like this. Okay, something that you can actually see and view every day. In which case, I would advise you to look at that and then think about what would happen if it came crumbling down. Also, the idea of if it collapses, now you've got to view that particular vista without that building still being there, that thing still being there. So this is about gaining some kind of clarity here. Now, I told you I have the two aces, but I also have two eights. Now, two eights can sometimes be an indication of a slight concern or regards in connection to a new romance or commitment, engagement, relationship. What it says is you doubt the sincerity of a male friend. Okay, but two eights can also be an indication that you will receive news that's going to change the relationship. Okay, that will affect the relationship. And so the question becomes for me, what is this devil card really all about? So the first thing I'm going to do is give you a few keywords. I haven't used this deck in so long. So the devil card speaks to the idea of the darkness that lies within us, the reflection which deceives, betrayal, superficiality, excess, feelings of guilt, egotism, rebellion, disturbance, suggestion, and also deceit. And in a way, we kind of see this deception here. It's kind of out in the open. Do we not? I think what I find most particular about this is that here in the corner we have the Seven of Wands, right? Remember that card, the Duel? But then when I add this Eight of Wands to this, it also gives me a Seven of Wands. So in effect, it's kind of saying there's still some kind of conflict that is happening here. Some kind of, let me give you the meaning of the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands says, it talks about bravery, struggle, challenge, competition. Okay? But now the Six says this is a passing adventure or a fleeting moment, or happiness for the small things. It can even indicate a rivalry and or prejudice. So my question is what is the rival about? Is it a rival for affection? Is it a rival for passion? Is it a rival for having your own needs met? There's some kind of rivalry here. So I'm going to pull the, let me see. I think what I would like to do is to take a look at this. I don't know if these cards will present the fin de siècle. So we're going to pull a set of cards on, well, we'll just pull a set of cards. Let's just see for a bit of clarification to see what it is we can see, because I don't even know where to place these particular cards. We have the idea of change. That could be a literal change in terms of movement. I do have these boats here and these open canals, but it could also be saying that it's time now for you to leave a particular situation behind. Community, this is the tribe or the people that you hang out with, so your acquaintances, friends, neighbors. And then the sudden wealth card. Now, that's a very odd card to come out, and I'm going to look up what the sudden wealth card can actually mean, perhaps in that context. So more than likely, we will have to go to the Sibyllus. And if I'm not mistaken, the sudden wealth card can just be the idea of a sudden change. Something changing, in which case it would be flanked by two. It can also, well, it says that sudden wealth actually talks about secure partners or business partners and or lucrative contracts. Now, if we take out the idea of this being about business, then we can be talking about just a partner in general, and then the contractual things that we agree to within relationships, whether it's written out or not. We agree on something. We have a spoken contract, okay? So, I'm going to pull cards on, and if I would want to look at this devil card here to see, is there deception? Is there deceit? Is there betrayal? Or is this something that is coming out within ourselves? The darkness within, okay, concerned with this particular situation. I would also add that this community card, in this sense, could be an indication of those like energy, like-minded people that you associate with, okay? You know, like attracts like, that kind of a thing. The alegría, happiness with friends and family, pastime. But there's also a warning that if you meet someone new in one of these, let's say this is at a party, right? You talk about maybe there's a party, and maybe meeting this person has been like the jackpot so far, right? Because they've allowed you to experience these different things. But this card also comes with the warning to say, if you are meeting people in this particular situation and you don't know them well at all, they could turn out to be fair weather friends, okay? Again, the conversazione. So conversation. So this tells me that maybe at some party, you're going to meet somebody like this. For all intents and purposes, it's going to be a good time. There's going to be positivity. There will be perhaps like attractions or things that you have in common. Okay, and that would be 2 aces of cups. But then we come to the Giovane Fanciulla. Now, the Giovane Fanciulla is an interesting card because if she doesn't necessarily represent a woman, what she describes is the type of energy surrounding an individual or perhaps a situation. So the Giovane Fanciulla, the regular interpretation is attraction to a young girl, okay? She is considered to be the Queen of Wands in this particular deck, so a fire sign perhaps. But she could also be looked at as a younger friend or family member or associate, someone within your group or connections here. But when she is not speaking about being a female, the card talks about the kind of energy in which someone is feeling a bit nervous, perhaps insecure, a bit of naivete, not necessarily knowing how to handle situations when they come up, which would cause them to not necessarily make bad choices, but decisions that could, or choices that could lead you into, I don't know, kind of sketchy circumstances. Sometimes the card will show up when it speaks about an older woman who is trying to act younger than her age, may dress younger than her age, in which case, you know, frivolous, flighty, vain, in which case that does not bode well in any type of relationship, right? So we're going to go back and pull one kind of, you know, this could also, I'm just going to say in a general sense, could also be an indication of how someone may make you feel. You know, young, attractive, gives you butterflies in your stomach. Speranza, the hope card. The Gran Signore, so if not a water sign male, would be, we usually in this instance, in a general like this, we say that this is the most important man in your life. And the Dileranti, which implies that there's more than one person involved in this situation. It also gives the same idea of community, plurality, the idea of hanging around with your drinking buddies and having conversations with groups of people, any place that you can sit down and either have intimate conversations or drink and be merry. Only the Dileranti talks about the idea of being in the wrong company, people who can lead you down the wrong path, which is one of the things I was saying about this particular card. It can be the idea of walking into an environment where there's danger and you don't realize it. It could also be the idea that there's someone out to get you, in the sense that they're trying to purposely lead you in the wrong direction. You will typically find in this that it's going to be someone in the group who may, for lack of a better term, be envious and jealous of you. So what they're trying to do is to place you in positions or in situations or speak to you and talk to you and tell you things that are going to, in effect, kind of drive you insane and have you to choose against your own better nature. Okay? Now, I don't know if this is telling me, some of you, this may already be happening in the past, near distant past, could be from yesterday to, I don't know, 3 months ago. For some of you, this may be coming up right now. And for the rest of you, this could be a warning that this situation may be coming up in the future. I just feel as though all is not as it appears to be. Okay, particularly with this card and this card and this card and even that card. Okay, so I don't know if this is telling me that some of you may be actually moving, going into a new group or community or even neighborhood situation, and it's going to feel like the jackpot, but there are some cautions here. Formulate your question for the Psychic Oracle Tarot. This could even be saying that there's one individual out of this group. He would be wealthy, someone who's well respected, well known. Okay, the big man about town. But there's something else going on here with him. Okay, and or the people he's associating with or can introduce you to. It is the Nine of Pentacles. It is called the material harvest. Now, remember that the Pentacles are about not just finances, but the doing of things. So, here's what the card has to say. It is the first and the physical border card. It says, one of the laws of the universe is what you sow, you reap. So, the card states that this is your time to reap the harvest that you worked for and so rightly deserve. This is the last physical card denoting self-mastery, self-sufficiency, independence, security, and the art of enjoying what you have strived for. You have done the hard work and learned the lessons along the way, and now you need to use them to prosper in all areas of your life. The number 9 also means endings. Not that good fortune necessarily stops, but do honor yourself as you finish up or celebrate the completion of projects. This would be a good time to look ahead and use the wisdom you've gained to think about what else you'd like to achieve. Consider smart investments and ponder ideas that show profitable potential. Congratulations on your success as you have earned it. For me, even though it sounds like the card's only talking about work and promotions and bonuses and raises, which was one of the meanings of this card, in the context of a relationship, this card is saying wherever you find yourself now and whatever crappy relationships or whatever lessons that you've learned in relationships, be they of a sexual nature or not, you've done the hard work, you've learned the lessons. So in moving forward, there's a focus on completion of putting those things behind us so that we can move forward. However, we do know that when it comes to love, it is easy to let our guard down. Okay? So the key words for this card that would be important for me in this instant would be this: self-mastery, self-sufficiency, independence, and security. Okay? And what I mean by that is as a woman, and even as a man, or whether you identify with either one of those, when you are in the realm of relationships, personal romantic relationships, your first responsibility is to protect your body, protect your mental state of mind, your emotional state of mind, your spiritual state of mind, but also to protect your belongings. Okay? And those are the things you should be looking out for. People who may come in and cause you to kind of lose it. In whatever way that means for you. All right. And so this is your reading. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I can bring out for you. I'm going to pull one romance angel card, because to me it looks like this has to do with someone from the past or a situation from the past, but moving forward there might be another little, I don't know, dust up is not the right word. The word is temptation. That's what they say. Temptation. And looking at that, the darkness that dwells within, do we want to go back, or do we want to delve down into that again, or do we want to try to do it a different way this time? Remember, we're talking about the third dimension here. It ends with the third dimensional card of Pentacles. What you are doing, what are you investing your time, and how are you investing your time, your emotions, your energy, your body, what are you doing with it? Here is your romance angel card. Let's see what it says. Very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And when I was speaking to you at the beginning of the reading about sex being associated with our fifth chakra, the chakra of our sexual center, our sexual energy, about manifestation, about creation. Okay, so that holds true. Where's the book? Okay, so it says very soon now. Very soon. That's interesting. It asks, what do you want? And demands very clear and specific answers. Oh, I talk about this all the time. Just like putting in your order at a restaurant, the universe has been listening to your thoughts and feelings about your love life and has brought you what you have asked for. However, when you complain about what's served to you, it is only because you placed an unclear order. As soon as you are perfectly straightforward about what it is you desire, it comes to you upon the wings of an angel and in an instant. You drew this card because it is time for you to get clear and honest with yourself. Formulate your requests with faith and optimism, and trust your own feelings and make decisions for yourself about what is best for you. Couldn't have said it more plainly than that. So that is what I have for you for your pop-up reading for the 8th of February. I'm trying to get some light. Okay, I hope that helps. If you're interested in a reading, and you don't have to get a reading because of this reading, but if you just want to know something, I don't sugarcoat it. I give it to you straight. I don't need a lot of questions or questions from you, or a lot of the story at least from you. I just need the questions. This way you know it's coming from a pure state of energy, where I'm getting my information from. You can go to my About Box section. There I have the reading packages listed with the number of minutes, the number of questions, and the price. And if you are interested in getting a reading, well, the most important thing up here is missing. So let me type it in. Watch. You can reach me at this email address, hiddenlotustarot@gmail.com. And basically just say, hey, Tara, I want the 45-minute reading. That is my most popular package. And then we'll get started. So until then, I'll see you guys later because I'm working on the March readings. Bye.